Dum da 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 dum 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 dum. Hey up, John.
Hey up, you right?
Hey up, Vicky.
Hey up.
Right, so the Honourable Councillor John Whitby MP.
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah, is that
Look, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the title should be, but anyway, for the purposes today, it's still Councillor, isn't it? But,
yes, it is.
Yeah,
put it there, John.
absolutely.
Yeah. So first, I have a riddle for you.
Okay.
So a cowboy goes into a town on Friday.
Oh, crikey. Okay, go on then, yeah.
Spends 3 days, still manages to leave on Friday. How do you do it? Not you, Vicky.
Hold on, is this meant to be a joke?
I don't know.
It's a riddle.
It's a riddle.
Oh, right. They're worse than your jokes. I don't know. Go on, you have to tell me.
Vicky?
The horse was called Friday.
Yes. Yeah, that was.
Okay.
Yeah, my son gave me a bit of. I think he's picking up. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Okay. Let's go back to dad jokes. They're easy. They're easy to work out.
Well, Vicky, have you got a dad joke?
No.
No. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's move on.
Right. So it's quite interesting. If you listen to a few people, you've done absolutely nothing as a councillor.
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely.
Shall we show them what nothing looks like?
Well, I'm happy to say what nothing looks like. Well, in fact, we're sitting now
In nothing, aren't we?
in nothing.
Huh.
Well, it used to be a bit of grass, which is fine. I mean, grass is good. But what we used to have was a disaster waiting to happen every single weekend, because the only bit of parking at the shops was just that little pull in there, and people were parking all over the place, literally.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of time before someone died. Of course, there was no crossing either. There's no crossing in Mackworth at all. So what I clearly didn't do at all, had nothing to do with, was getting this car park put in and the crossing. And the car park obviously gives us loads more capacity. It's nice and safe.
Yeah.
We've kept all the trees, which was brilliant. It took a lot of work to get, and you know, I'd say this every single time. No one does anything in isolation. A lot of help with the Councillor Pegg at the time, of course. But we got this delivered, and it was a lot of work. And in the end, we even had to go. This is the punchline. We even had to go to the planning committee, our own planning committee, to persuade the planning committee to overturn the planner's decision, which was not to approve because it was on a bit of green space, a very small amount of green space, but it was still green space, and that was in contravention to the sort of the plan. But very thankfully, pretty much every councillor, I think, voted with us. So yeah, we got it through, and yeah, it was done 2017. I don't think anyone's ever criticised this space at all. It's been a complete positive. Obviously, having crossing is brilliant, but all this extra capacity, it's nice and safe. People can come and go as they please. There's no problems, and of course, it encourages more use of the shop. So all round, pretty good.
So that's an incredible bit of nothing.
Yeah, a bit of nothing. And when you look at other suburbs of Derby, I don't think they've had anything like this, to be honest. I mean, I'm not. It's not a competition, I know, but this was quite something in a period when there's been no money around. You know, absolute austerity.
So that shows that with a bit of ingenuity, we can get nothing done.
We can get nothing done.
What do you think, Vicky?
I think nothing is a good thing.
Yeah. All right, so let's
go see something else we've not done.
Yeah. When the Ward Mobil, aren't we?
Okay.
So anyway, whilst we're doing that, how's it been though? Past few weeks?
Past few weeks, been busy. Busy. There's so much to do that.
Well, hang on. I think I spot another nothing that we saved.
Oh, the library.
The library. Yeah. I mean, this was going to be closed, wasn't it?
Yes, this was a Labour thing. It's not so much me, but obviously the Labour group. It was one of our manifesto commitments, wasn't it, to save the library. Of course, it's still there. Hopefully, in time, it'll have more hours open. But Which way should we go, brother?
But yeah, and there's a bit of nothing on hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so let's.
Okay, let's go that way.
But anyway, so you were talking about.
How busy things are. Yeah. There's so much to do. There's 2 offices to set up, I suppose. There's staff to bring in. There's 300 or 400 emails a day to try and field, and at the same time try and understand how the whole place works.
Yeah.
It's crazy, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, and while we're at it, Vicky, you've had a very busy school holiday period. Well, now that's over, but you've had kids back to back for weeks now?
We had 5 weeks of 3 days a week, and we supported around 50 families across the period of the summer holiday.
Okay. Yeah, and I've visited a few times, and it was full.
We had one particular day where it was just bonkers. There were so many people there.
And it's amazing. I've come to notice the people that sort of like come, to these things. Most times because of how we think about the issue of needing food banks and all that, there's mostly people that we don't expect that we bump into, and then you realize just how serious the issue around just needing extra support is.
About 70% of our food parcels go to people that are working.
Wow.
And often that's very much police, school teachers, nurses. It's the people that have had the constant cutback or no improvement in their wages, whilst the cost of living goes up and up.
Yeah.
And I think the thing we need to remember is that everyone is only one breakdown of a fridge away before they end up not being able to feed and clothe themselves.
And talk about fridge. Do you want to talk about the community kitchen idea?
The community kitchen is just starting to get up and running.
Nice.
And it's at Mackworth United Reformed Church. And basically we've got a kitchen that anybody can come in and use.
Right, okay.
So we've got all of the cooking equipment. All you have to do is bring your food along, and you can cook whatever you want for yourself without having to spend any money on gas or electric.
So you're telling me I can come in there and make a lovely bowl of jollof rice?
The sooner you do, the better, I think.
Well, you know what? On that note, I'm going to. I think that's a plan. I'll come make some jollof.
Nice.
And then show you how to make some. But that means I need to go take some tutorial. I do better eating than I do cooking.
And we do have someone that's prepared to do cookery lessons, and particularly look at what we can make out of a food parcel.
Oh, amazing. Maybe we should have that as a show. Oh, and we're here on. What, do you want to just drive onto it?
Okay.
Another bit of nothing you've done, John. Now so, this you like to call your baby, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because this came from. And don't listen. I'm not obsessed by car parks, but this came from just a guy coming to us at a surgery with a seemingly impossible ask, and that is, could we provide some parking on this road, because there were loads of antisocial issues, loads of issues between some of the residents. That's where it was, and it really was building up to a point where there was real tension. So yeah, after a long period, I mean it took years, we provided this bit of parking and access to these houses so they can get in there, get off the. It's a really tight road. This is. It's a really tight, it's bendy, and it was causing all sorts of problems. So yeah, we created. I think there's eight spaces with a little section in the middle where people can drive through, so that's not going to be blocked off. They can get to these properties. And hey, again, job done. It took a while. Took some money. It wasn't a crazy amount of money. It must have been. It was probably more time and effort and various agencies getting involved. But yeah, it was just a just an ask of the surgery, and it worked in the end.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's not so much about jumping around and saying, "Hey, look at me," but it's about making decisions, and that will impact people's lives positively,
Absolutely, yeah.
and that will be long lasting, and that will make lives easier. That's what we were elected for. That's what we do for our residents, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go and do something else that's long lasting and good for the residents.
Another good piece. I love nothings, don't you?
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see all the nothing.
But now and then I think you do need to remind folks of the actual job of a councillor.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm guilty of anything, it's not going on about it. I totally accept that, and I think.
Well, I've told you that many times, John.
Yeah, I know you have, and you're right. And the motivation is not to go on about how well or how well we might have done. It's to just do stuff for people. Yeah,
but the thing is,
but it's a competitive.
Yeah, it is. No, but see, look, I've said it previously, and I'll say it again. It's one of the things I really do admire about you, John. You want to just get down, do the job, and not shout about it. Sadly, we're in a world where people want to shout about stuff that they've done. So sometimes you do need to. Yeah. But if there's someone who's a decent politician who actually does want to do the job they've been elected to do, it's John. Yeah, so yeah.
I'll take that.
Well, look, any day of the week, I'm going to say it because that's the truth, and truth matters, especially in politics.
Absolutely.
So now back to this community kitchen, Vicky. Tell me more. What days is it open?
Be initially open on a Tuesday. There will be spaces to book between 10 and 2, so you can come along. We run our warm space at the same time, so you're gonna meet people and have friendly conversations as well.
Yeah, but I think it's good. Maybe one of these Tuesdays, let's look at getting a food parcel together and seeing what we can do from it. And how many people have taken all these up since it started?
At the moment, we've only had one person come in. She came with her carer. She was just coming out of children's care services, and so we really worked with her on working out what a sensible diet was, and teaching her to cook the basics.
Okay.
But we want it to get busier.
Oh, and it's I think with the right amount of publicity, of putting it out there.
Oh, by the way, sorry, we got the speed bumps put in as well.
Oh, that's another bit of nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So nothing that goes bump.
People were asking for a long time on Cheviot Street. Well, they were complaining about the speed of the traffic for a long time.
Yeah.
So we got these put in, and thankfully we've not really had very much pushback, because they can be quite contentious.
Speed bumps, yeah.
But at least these ones aren't. They're not the sort of ones that are going to completely wreck your suspension straight away. Some of them are really vicious, but these are a bit.
No, but I think what I also like about the traffic calming measures here is because just about here, this roundabout on I think it's Brighton, Cheviot, and all that. It's the markings are sort of like further in, so people need to be very cautious when they approach the roundabout. So the speed bump helps mitigate against the problem of someone running into another car, God forbid. Well, it's good to do nothing. And we have nothing planned for this corner of Arnold Street and Slack Lane.
Yes. How's that coming along now?
Oh my goodness. I think, as you would have noticed with the car park, these things do take time.
Yeah, of course.
And it's been conversation after conversation.
Yeah.
And you come into these things and you sort of like think, well, I have this idea, it should just be as easy as idea, let's get it done. But no.
Yeah. Oh, just thought of something else I haven't done.
Yeah.
as well. But we're coming to that as well. So yeah, three more things.
Three more things. Oh wow!
Just to say.
Oh, you've been on a roll of nothings, John.
Yeah. Well, I was sat on my backside doing nothing.
Yeah. Oh, and I just saw some Halloween decoration from the 27th, I believe. Or it's 27th. I'll get the dates right. But I want to say from the 27th to the 30th of September, there's going to be a scarecrow trail in Markworth in New Zealand. So get your entries in, speak to the lovely folks at Little Owl's Nursery, and they can get your locations registered, so that people can come look at your lovely scarecrows.
Yeah.
And on the subject of nursery, we're on another bit of nothing that as a Labour group we've done.
Wow. Well, you know what? This was our number one priority.
Yeah.
In the last election.
Ashgate Nursery.
Ashgate Nursery, yeah. So it was really hard to get this resolved, but I'm happy to say it's done. So the easy bit, yes, was campaigning on keeping it open, and actually keeping it open was quite straightforward. It was just let's go to cabinet and end the consultation that was going to close the school, but making the place viable again financially has been the task, and it's taken best part of a year to sort of come up with the plans that have been put in place. But what a massive thing for this area to keep the nursery. It wasn't ever just Ashgate, it was Ashgate and Central as well. They are federated, so it wasn't a case of just bothering about Ashgate. Central's deficit was more than Ashgate's, to be honest. But the plans are there now. The numbers on roll have gone right up. There's all sorts of extra measures being placed for the city, really, being based at Ashgate, to go out and try and support children when they're really young, children who may have extra needs. So
and you were the cabinet member for that, so that was it was particularly important to you.
Oh, absolutely.
This day, and I've spoken to a lot of residents who have agreed that was absolutely the right decision. And you come here on any given day, and the numbers,
and they're only going to go up.
Because it just didn't make any sense to base the decision to either close or open based off of numbers from just coming out of COVID. It just didn't make sense, but here we are. School is thriving, and it's another bit of nothing.
Listen, this is the biggest thing, I suppose, because it's
the biggest nothing.
It's the biggest nothing. But there's a whole load of when we were talking to residents about this before, was it January 23? It must have been. I think even I was surprised at the affection for the place from so many people.
It's been here for what, 950 years?
So it is around 50 years, and we were quite surprised, I think, by the number of generations of people who still live in the area, whose kids have been grandparents. Their grandchildren have been. And everyone with good things to say about the place. So absolutely essential. But we're getting the extended childcare offer is in now. That's coming in properly. So the capacity is required for all these extra children, younger children going to nursery, and thankfully we've got a place that's just literally on the doorstep. So fantastic.
I was involved right from the beginning with this because I was asked to write an impact statement on behalf of the families that we work with, and some of the difficulties it was going to cause the families by it being closed. That extra 10-minute walk to get to the next nearest nursery, and how 10 minutes out of their work day gets lost.
Of course. And then some people might have had to make the difficult decision of either just pausing work for a while, and with in a cost of living crisis, that's not a decision.
But the reality is that the nursery that was, say, a 10-minute walk away, was the other one that's the federated with. So and that had similar financial issues to Ashgate.
Yeah.
And it wasn't clear to me how Central would have been resolved if you took Ashgate out the equation. It was easier to sort of save them both together, because of the way they're sort of funded. So anyway, we've got there in the end.
Yeah.
And a great thing for this area, a great thing for Derby to have the capacity for a whole lot of new kids to come to nurseries in the future, which we're a struggle with.
And it's great for the families. And speaking about families.
Yeah, this road here, a few years ago, again there was all sorts of problems, and myself and it would have been Councillor Frogger to be fair at the time, Councillor Frogger. We had many meetings with residents, pretty much all of them. I don't know how many times we spoke to residents here, but there were all sorts of antisocial issues going on. So we got the housing association involved. We got obviously Derby Homes and all the different parts of the council together. And without going into too much detail, the issues were resolved, and as far as I'm aware, this is a few years back, by the way. This is about 2017, 2018, I think. I think it's been nice and peaceful pretty much ever since, as far as I'm aware. Because there may have been one or two residents who caused a lot of problems for everyone. So I suppose working in partnership. Over again a period of time, it was months, I think, with the help of the police as well. We got that resolved as well, so that was great. Yeah. The one other thing I was just going to say.
All right, another bit of nothing, John.
Yeah, and this has been a bit of a thing for me, trying to get this sorted. So obviously in New Zealand, parking. Parking is always a problem.
Yeah, I mean as we can see
here. But a lot of residents, I mean, we've tried several times over the years to give people the chance to have permit parking, and nearly every time people have rejected the idea. But there was one area who went for it, and I was absolutely delighted. And so we're going to go there now, and the sort of Manchester Street, Surrey Street, Cross Street. They decided to go with the permit parking, and ever since we put that in, you go knocking on doors down there, speaking to residents, and no one ever seems to mention parking. Whereas that's all you ever got in the past, understandably, because parking was a major problem.
And this is where I feel like a dad joke thing is coming on. Thanks for nothing, John. Oh, it's terrible.
This is it. So Manchester Street, resident parking.
What a lovely bit of nothing.
And it worked. It seems to have worked anyway. In the sense that you don't get it talked about anymore. So we did offer permit parking, didn't we, recently to Finder Netwall, Wild Street.
And he said no.
But again, I mean, it's
at the end of the day,
it's democracy. If they don't want to do it, then fine.
It's up to the residents, isn't it?
It seems to have worked here.
Yeah.
Just to say that, and I'm really glad we gave them the choice, and they went with it. But, so there you go.
Yeah. So look, it's always good, now and then to look at all the nothings that have been done, and see how we're actually doing for residents. And you speak to people, and they do say, we see what you've been doing. Kudos, carry on. And so I think it's we should also say a huge thank you to residents, for their support, for their patience, for their kind words, and to the partners we work with as well, the police, the neighborhood team, the council officers, the you know, every single person who works
Yeah.
hard for the city and works hard for our residents. We can't do what we do without them.
Well, like I said, nothing gets done in isolation.
Definitely.
Absolutely, you
Definitely.
need
No one person has all the answers.
absolutely no one has all the power.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need a few people to get involved in anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. If you want things to keep getting done, I suppose you need to vote for it.
Yes.
That's
True. So yeah, it's been good. Good to see all the nothings. What do you think, Vicky?
I'm so impressed with your nothing, John.
Thanks for nothing, John.
Yeah.
All right. Until the next one. Have a lovely day.
See you.